Hello my friends, welcome back to MTDCNC North America. I am so excited to be here today, being with my buddy David and my buddy Edward. We're going to talk about this Okuma LB3000 and the Hainbuch product that goes inside of it. However, as you guys know, I'm not the expert. I bring the experts with me, as I've said before. So David, Edward, thank you so much for being a part of MTD.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm glad to be here.
Well, David, let's start with you. Let's talk about the Okuma machine. Let's talk about still having the capability to machine parts faster, deeper, with good finish, everything that goes along with that added rigidity. Let's talk about this Okuma.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, the LB3000 has a lineage that goes way back to starting. Let's do a little feedback going back a little bit. In 1982, Okuma Japan came out with the first LB15. That particular model shot us into the future. And since then, we've had 5 different versions, evolutions of the LB series. Now with the LB3000, state of the art, with the product that the feeds and speeds direct drive ball screws, which is standard now. But what makes us different, what puts us above and beyond in the next generation of machine tooling? Let's talk a little bit about the rigidity and accuracy. How is that accomplished? Well, every Okuma is still hand scraped. This is my personal hand scraper. I used to build the LB15 back in 1992. And today, they're still hand scraped. Your ball screw, end brackets, the gibs, the cross slides, the saddles, the bracket of the base for the spindle housing. All this is still hand scraped for rigidity and longevity. That's the reliability you're going to get with the Okuma LB3000.
That's incredible. And might I just say, you look a bit too young to know how to hand scrape, so good for you. But Edward, when we're talking about this machine and we're talking about rigidity, let's also talk about Hainbuch, because you guys have the type of product that's flexible, high precision, but can also be balanced with that rigidity that's necessary with a machine like this, right?
That's correct, Tony. Our new Top Plus chuck, we have featured a Top Plus Mini 100. It's got a smaller nose for increased tool clearance, 25% more gripping force than our original span top with the round variant clamping head. The Top Plus clamping head has a hex OD. Like I said, 25% more gripping force. Less contamination can get inside the chuck when you're machining materials such as cast iron or brass.
At what precision and how quickly can you do it?
We can hold 10 microns or less. That's what we guarantee. We can go from ID to OD to 3-jaw and the same chuck in a matter of 2 minutes or less. We can hold 10 microns with those adaptions. We can change out within 2 minutes, like I said.
Yeah, that's perfect. And David, what does it mean to you to know that there's a partner like Hainbuch that can allow this Okuma machine to reach the expectation that you require to provide to your customers as well?
Well, you know, Okuma manufactures a wonderful machine tool, or lathe, mills, grinders. But again, we don't manufacture workholding. We don't manufacture tooling. We don't manufacture chip conveyors, you know, in-process gauging. We need partners such as Hainbuch to be that particular company and partner to help us moving into the future. I mean, as our product advances, Hainbuch has advanced with us or has gone beyond. And that's the kind of partnership we want. We need our partners, our team, to really give us the best product to keep us moving forward to support our customers. And Partners and THINC, that's the beauty. We get to bring 39 different partners that are part of our team, and each one of them brings so much to the table. As we've talked about in the past, we actually have partners that, you know, outside of this facility, they're going toe-to-toe. They're in the boxing ring. But when they're in here, they're the guys that really come together to help our customers manufacture the easiest, the best way possible moving forward. At the end of the day, they need to be making chips, and we got to have a machine tool and a partner that's going to be right there with them.
Absolutely right. So Edward, what is the partnership working with Okuma and knowing that they look up to your product as well as being partners with them? What does that mean to you also?
It means being able to work with Okuma and work with the end users and get them a product that can definitely make great parts.
Isn't that ultimately why we're all here, is to make sure that the friends that we have, they're having the amount of success that they want to have and coming together like this? This is why we're all doing it, right? Can you take a moment and tell me something really specific, unique, whatever you'd like to about this Okuma machine, whether you'd like to focus to the audience right now and go, real estate's the most important. We can't stack machines yet, but the space and the rigidity in this size is so important. So wherever you'd like to direct that into part of a conversation for Okuma, and then I'm gonna have you do the same thing, Edward, for the guys. But David, if you wouldn't mind going first.
And that's a key factor that you brought up. Customer floor space is premium. So we have to make a product that fits in a smaller location, but also bring the high-tech product in that small footprint. Some of the things that we bring is thermal friendliness. The thermal friendliness concept, you got your hydraulic units, you got your chilling units, you got all the cooling systems, the coolant, all on the perimeters of the machine. But still, you can't have it outside the product or the machine. You gotta have it within, but still maintain a small footprint and also maintain that thermal deviation protection that we need as a thermal friendly machine. The other big bang on this particular LB3000 is we went from a VAC motor to a Prex motor. Prex has really been a game changer. A smaller spindle, less heat or almost zero heat production, and a higher torque and thrust and spindle speed with a Prex style motor. Also, like I said, the boxway systems, hand scrape gibs, cross slides and brackets. Also, the casting is designed specifically to allow airflow to support the thermal deviation compensation that we have. And also, as an option, you can get CAS, collision avoidance. So you can actually run this product, hit cycle start, and it's going to tell you if there's going to be a problem, if you're going to hit an area where you didn't really want to be, or be in a position you didn't want to be in. Also, you have the option to have a tailstock that's NC, and you can also have a tailstock that's hydraulic, depending. You can actually program multiple positions within that tailstock, going back to that quick changeover concept with Hainbuch. So you can change over multiple processes, and you can actually go ahead and program your footstock or tailstock, and it's going to go right to position when you need to be. And that's the beauty with Hainbuch's quick change system with the Okuma, and that's what our customers need.
So when we're talking about the Hainbuch product, again, something that sticks out to me when I think about Hainbuch as well is that you guys have so many patents. And as much stock as you have for the US market in your inventory, a lot of what you do is actually custom as well if Okuma needs you to do something like that in their machines for the customers.
Oh, of course. We'll design the workpiece or work holding around the workpiece, the best way to hold the product. One thing I wanted to lead on was what David was saying with the quick change. Our adaptions from being able to go from ID to OD to 3-jaw, we can also do the same thing on stationary chucks. As long as it's the same size chuck, we can go from ID to OD to 3-jaw on, say, milling machines.
Well, for everyone watching out there, I think that this is absolutely amazing. Talking with David, talking with Edward. I mean, guys, gals, aren't we all working toward flexibility, increased rigidity, added precision? You know, back in the day, probably when this first one came out 20, 30 years ago, there were some places where we could be a little loose in our tolerances, but that becomes less and less with every single day that goes by. We must invest in ourselves and make sure that we have the best quality products out there in order to have the success, to win those bids, to get that lowest price point per part, to make sure that everything that we're doing is going to create success into the future and not just today. So guys, thank you so much for being a part of MTD. I do appreciate you both being here and sharing your stories.
Absolutely, thank you.
Appreciate it, Tony.